What is happening, gamers? This is Bradley here, and today we're going to be running through some Nintendo news. So first up is that Nintendo almost showed off the next original Zelda game for the Wii U during this year's E3. This next Zelda game is actually progressing quite well according to Miyamoto, but they did ultimately decide not to show it off during this year's E3, obviously, and it kind of makes sense from a business standpoint. So right now Nintendo is focusing on the Wind Waker HD remake, and if Nintendo announced a new Wii U Zelda game, it could have overshadowed the remake and people could have lost interest in it, and Nintendo wants people to buy this Wind Waker game. But that doesn't mean we won't be hearing about the next Zelda game this year, because when Miyamoto was asked about whether or not we'd be hearing about it this year, he stated, "I think so." So maybe we'll hear it in like a future Nintendo Direct, like once Wind Waker is out, so maybe like in December. Moving away from all that Zelda goodness though, so we got some new details for Pokemon X and Y coming out of like a developers roundtable thingy that was held yesterday. So we got a confirmation on two new battle types. So the first one is the Horde battle, which only seems to be encountered in the wild, but there will be like a multitude of Pokemon, like 5 of them, coming to encounter just your one Pokemon. The Horde won't always just encompass one type of Pokemon, there will be a variety of different Pokemon sometimes thrown in. But since you have one Pokemon, once you attack once, you have to wait for the rest of the Horde to attack you. So it makes things a little bit more trickier. The next new battle type that you'll be encountering with trainers is the Sky battles. Now since it's held in the sky, you'll only be able to use a limited set of Pokemon, basically flying types with the exception of characters like Haunter, since he has a levitate ability. So it should make things a little bit more interesting since it will be mostly flying types fighting against each other and the rest of your Pokemon are void. But if you don't actually have any flying type Pokemon with you, you won't be able to engage in the battles. Also during this roundtable, we got an announcement for 3 new Pokemon, the first one being a new evolution of Fletchling called Talonflame, and he's a fire flying type Pokemon. The next Pokemon is Clauncher, who's a water type, and the third Pokemon is Skrelp, who is a water poison type. Now outside of the developers roundtable, we got even more announcements for some new Pokemon for Pokemon X and Y in the Japanese magazine Korokoro. Now I'm not even going to bother naming them since we only know the Japanese names for them so far, but first we have the 2 pre-evolution forms for Vivillon. It's kind of like a Caterpie Metapod, Butterfree type of deal. And then we have this Lion Cub Pokemon, that's a fire normal type, and then finally we have this new flower Pokemon. But moving away from all that Pokemon X and Y stuff is that for Super Mario 3D World, there's a possibility that it could be taking place in Subcon, which is the dream place from Super Mario Bros. 2. So if you take a look at this image right here from Super Mario 3D World, you can see it features the Subcon guys from Super Mario Bros. 2, which may be a hint that maybe they are in Subcon. Or it could just be like a little homage type of deal to Super Mario Bros. 2, but maybe it's pointing to something bigger. We know that Princess Peach is a playable character, so the story is going to be something different. I mean, Princess Peach isn't getting kidnapped, so maybe they're traveling back to Subcon. But that will bring us to the end of this video, guys. You can stay tuned for tomorrow because there will be another episode of Nintendo Review Zone going up then. There'll be a review for Mighty Switch Force 2 for the 3DS eShop. But I'll talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!